Hello, English friends. Tonight, we are going to talk about Petrarchianism versus Antipetrarchianism with the help of a well-stocked can of shaving cream and my Gillette Fusion Pro Glide razor and my critical thinking mind. We're going to try to hack our way through it and as well get rid of this unsightly facial hair, which is kind of grown in unevenly. Anyway, just a little recap. Basically, Petrarchianism, or within the Petrarchian poetry style, there's typically an idealized, perfected other, or beloved, rather than, your typical sort of girl next door. The beloved instead exists as something, completely unattainable, a kind of perfection that you can never even come close to touching. Something that exists really only in your idealized state of mind, and for the author it kind of fosters this unending source of angst, romantic angst, the angstiest angst of all. Alright, lathered up. So, take this short chunk from Francesco Petrarch's Rime Sparse, I think it's number 190, as an example. I've got it here in front of me. Whoso lists to hunt, I know where is hind, but for me, alas, I may no more. The vain travail hath wearied me so sore. I am of them that farthest come behind. Wow, it's pretty downtrodden, angsty stuff. The vain travail of this hunt for his beloved, this idealized, perfected other, has pretty much left him completely worn and downtrodden and just physically and emotionally exhausted. Love has, to him at this point, become this completely unattainable, has attained this completely unattainable level. Perhaps it's, Petrarch's desires come from a place of inexpressibility, or as we discussed in Inexpressibility Topos, where, just mere language really doesn't do his desire and his idealized notions of love justice, can't adequately describe it to any sort of extent. Instead, the beloved here almost is a kind of transcendental signifier of sorts. It takes on an almost divine or spiritual power over the author. He's completely helpless to really, resist or chase or really act at all. He's been completely subjugated. From that, we go to anti-Petrarchian poetry. Shakespeare in particular, he was one of the big pioneers of anti-Petrarchianism. And rather than this idealized, perfected lover that you see in Petrarchian poetry, and anti-Petrarchian poetry, it's kind of punk rock in the sense that, Shakespeare or anti-Petrarchian poets really do away with these idealizations by just sort of blatantly and unflatteringly presenting, the humanity of the beloved, and all of its flaws and defects and blemishes for really everyone to see. Take Sonnet 130, for example. My mistress's eyes are nothing like the sun's. There's a passage in here that I particularly like. I have seen roses damasked, red and white, but no such roses do I see in her cheeks, and in some perfumes there is more delight than in the breath that from my mistress reeks. Charming, isn't it? His lover, his companion, rather than being this unattainable thing, is this chick with a bad complexion and smelly breath. But at the same time, he has this incredibly deep attraction and love for her nonetheless. So, love here in this sense, it's blunt and it's unflattering and it's flawed and blemished, but it comes from a place of humanity and it comes from a place of expressibility. Shakespeare can find the words, however unflattering they may be, to describe this love, this other, his beloved. And it boils love down in this pursuit of a beloved from something that's divine and unattainable and holds this subjugating power over the subject to something that's there, that's readily attainable, something that you can smell, taste, touch, smell in particular, and see. something that's right down on our level. And I think, you know, Antipetrarchianism in a number of ways is powerful because it takes out that mystery, it takes out that those divine, all-powerful implications, and it just reduces love and the concept of the beloved, you know, down to its bare essentials, stripping away all those, you know, unnecessary hierarchical language structures and levels that have been put in place and imposed upon the reader. Kind of like eliminating, you know, 5 days of facial growth. Down to the bare essentials. Well, tune in another time where we will tackle some more subjects from this, you know, course. And ooh, almost forgot the soul patch. Well, goodbye.